Welcome everybody to the Fandom Nights podcast, YouTube channel, TikTok, Facebook page, Instagram, and
Tinder.
Coming soon. I am Chris. I'm Chris.
I'm George.
And
I'm Hefe.
Hefe. Nice to see you again, Hefe. Today, Fandom Nights, where we break down pop culture one fandom at a time. Done. Today we're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 2, Chepisode 5, Avatar Day.
I want to be Richard instead.
Okay.
Identity crisis.
No, wait. I want to be Richard. Okay. Dustin, take us through the story.
You mean Richard. Alright. So it opens with Momo, and he's...
Richard, take us through the story. Took me a second. I'm pretty slow today. Shut up. I knew you were
Hey, you look a little tired. It's alright.
Okay. Go.
So it opens with Momo, and he's looking at a spider web that was made in Sokka's mouth.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at the spider, just staring at it, and then just inside of his mouth, and Sokka's.
What are you
What are you doing?
I get that they sleep outside, but like, how long do you have to have your mouth open
for a whole
web? And how do you not feel that? Like something just literally like.
You supposedly eat 6 spiders a year, so I don't know. Supposedly.
Not in our house. No spiders.
No, yeah, that's good.
She's like, where's wood?
Where's wood? I need some wood. Sounds bad. Okay.
Alright.
So, yeah. After that happens, Sokka's like, you need to be more sensitive to my boundaries. And then, the Fire Nation attacks them, and they scavenge their things, and yip away.
It takes about an hour for a spider to spin its web.
Huh.
Like a what? Yeah. Interesting. So you had to sit there for an hour.
With your mouth completely open.
With your mouth completely open. There's airflow in there, so it's a good place to catch bugs, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah.
Dude, if someone looked up my Google searches, they'd be like, what were you searching? I Googled, how long spiderweb make?
He'd be like, is this a toddler?
Is this a caveman? When did a caveman learn Google?
That is a grown man playing tag.
It bugs the heck out of me seeing grown adults do that. Yeah. I always type it out. I'm like, all right, as much as possible.
I just type in the keywords. That's all you need to do.
I know.
How long spiderweb make? Anyways, go ahead.
About this point.
Yeah.
So, like, when those flaming arrows hit Sokka's sleeping bag, and he just, like, scurries out, and, like, they run. Yeah. So this episode and the previous episode, when Appa and Momo are, like, getting chased through the swamp, Momo is literally throwing their belongings and, like, shirts at, like, the guys behind them.
Yeah, the swamp people.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this during this point. Where do they keep getting all the actual Water Tribe outfits?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
It's literally just an animation, like, all right, here you go, here's some more clothing. Because, like...
They get a lot of clothing.
Yeah, they've been throwing stuff multiple times.
Right.
Like, leaving stuff behind, like...
Maybe they always get it back. And, I mean, the Water Tribe's pretty big, and so...
They're in the Earth Kingdom, though.
I know, they go to towns every once in a while, so maybe, like, Earth Kingdom people are like, oh, you're from the Water Tribe. I just saw this person from the Water Tribe. I have these Water Tribe blankets. You want them?
Not true. You find that out in this very episode, because the guy, jumping ahead, the guy who, like, when they pay him, he's like, oh, cool, Water Tribe money. Mm-hmm. Like, he hasn't seen it. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, as long as it's money.
Where did they get Water Tribe money from?
From Master Paku, I'm assuming.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yep. I was just remembering that other episode.
I'm your continuity expert
where they were completely broke, you know, and they didn't have any money. So I'm like, where do they get Water Tribe money from? They've been holding it this whole thing. Yeah. Okay, got it.
We've only got 3 copper pieces. No, 2.
Yeah. Aang in his hats, which he wears in this episode. He wears hats in this episode.
Yeah.
Aang loves hats, man.
Sorry, Dustin. Keep going.
Welcome to Tangent Nights.
No, like, I was literally curious because I'm like, where do they keep getting all this stuff, though?
Yeah,
like,
it was interesting.
I agree. Yeah. So that was this episode of Fandom, right? Alright. So basically,
next time on Dragon Ball Z.
So the Fire Nation is attacking them, and so they scurry off as quickly as they can. And Katara's like, "My scrolls," and she gets her scrolls. And Aang is like, "My staff." Gets his staff, and then Sokka's like, "My boomerang." Sucks for you. Let's go. Let's get it.
Just the way Katara like responds, he's like, "Oh, of course, we got enough time to go get your scrolls and his staff, but not enough time for my boomerang." She's like, "Correct. Yep."
Yep.
So the market man says, "Here you go, ponytail guy." He's like, "I used to be boomerang guy."
This episode made me laugh so much for some reason. I don't know if I was in the right mood or what, but
I did too. When he said that, the first thing that popped in my head was, "Oh, we got another Sokka episode coming."
Yep. I used to be boomerang guy.
I used to be boomerang guy.
I love Sokka.
So after this, they are like walking into that town, and they hear a festival for the Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And so after they arrive at the city, they see these giant wooden statues of past Avatar. They see Kyoshi, Roku, and they actually see Aang too there.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think they're like a paper mache
burning a living one, not just the dead ones, a living one.
Right.
I don't think they're made out of wood though. Because like the first one, like that guy literally busts through it.
Yeah, I'm sure the outer skin is paper mache or whatever, but the inner skeleton has to be
Is this
wood.
the Avatar version of Burning Man?
Yes.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes. Burn Notice. Let's just say anything with burn in it.
Burning Up by the Jonas Brothers?
Oh, what the heck?
It's Getting Hot in Her by Nelly.
Welcome to Tangent Nights.
Yep.
So back to the story.
I'm looking through my movies.
Yeah,
Backdraft from 1990 something.
There's nothing with burn up there.
Just relax.
Fahrenheit 9.
Burn after reading.
Ooh, burnt. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I actually have the word burn though.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Which should be next to burnt.
Yeah, I know it's not.
Come on,
totally
Chris.
alphabetical.
Just kidding. So the people are screaming, "Done with the Avatar! Done with the Avatar!" And then it cuts right to Zuko as the Blue Spirit, and he's stealing some food. And then he leaves and heads back to the cave where him and Iroh were staying at. But Zuko has resorted to a life of crime.
Yep.
So.
Yep. He's been hurt by his nation, and he's an outcast, and he's just on the run, and he has no honor. So he's like, you know what? If I don't have any honor, I might as well be a freaking thief.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the logical thing.
That's how I read this episode. I mean, he just was like,
oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna. I have no honor anyways, so I might as well dishonor myself even more. So I don't know. Which we all kind of get to that point, you know, when you get so depressed, you just want to like wallow in it, or angry, you just want to wallow in that, you know. So he's just doing that in this episode, and you can tell that Iroh knows that, obviously, but he's like, he also knows like this is not the time to bring it up to him. He needs to like come to that realization himself, because if I just tell him what to do, he's just gonna flip out even more, you know. He just says little things like, we'll get to it, but the teapot thing, and I don't know. Yeah. It really starts making you feel for Zuko, even though he's doing bad things in this episode. You're like, man, we've all been there, kind of. Not stealing teapots, but
it also feels like to me like a mixture of culture versus like his upbringing, because like culturally, like obviously it's bad to steal from other people, but like being raised as a prince in the Fire Nation, where like you can literally take whatever you want. Yeah.
I guess I wasn't reading it so much like that, but because he's taking stuff he literally has no.
But at the same time, like when he like drops it off to his uncle, you can tell like he doesn't feel bad for taking it.
Yeah,
he's just like, no, like we need to have this. Like I don't care where it comes from.
And you can tell though that Iroh's like, well, first you were kind of stealing for food and all this other stuff, but now you're just stealing for no reason. We don't need a golden teapot. We need just need a teapot, right? I mean, we need that. So yeah, steal me a teapot, but it doesn't have to be golden. That's what he's saying.
Steal, yes, just not as expensively. I mean,
you don't need this one. We just need a teapot.
Just give me a copper one.
Yeah.
I don't need a 70-inch flat screen. Just give me like a 32-inch. I'll be fine.
Make sure it's 4K.
Need to binge my stories.
Need to watch my soaps.
Zuko, I need to binge my stories.
They're called, what are they called?
Soap
Movers.
Movers, yeah.
I'm like, there's a word for it. The people are afraid the Avatar will kill them because the past Avatars killed their leader. And so some man from the town, the mayor, is like, you know what I think of your help? It's like, does a fart noise. Brought in the kid in me. And quite enjoyed that.
I don't care how old you are. Like
fart noises are funny.
Yeah.
The only way to prove your innocence is to stand trial. So Aang gets locked up. And
and then we missed the one line. He's like, we used to be a prosperous town until the Avatar killed our leader, and now look at us. And it's like that old guy going, and Aang's like, ah! And now look at us. It was funny.
Which you see that guy like later in the episode, and he never looks better.
Yeah.
They like made sure. All right, we got to put that ugly dude right in the corner there.
Again, old people, no teeth. He had like one or two.
He had like 5 teeth at most.
Yeah.
So Aang gets locked up in this. What is that thing called?
Stocks. The stocks.
So he gets locked up in the stocks, and he basically tells Katara and Sokka that they need to prove his innocence. And Katara is like, well, why can't you come with? And he's like, well, I kind of need to honor their reasoning for being mad.
To stay here.
Right?
He's Superman with handcuffs on.
Yeah.
If it makes them feel better, I guess.
Because he does that later on.
I know. He literally just pops his head out.
Yeah, he pops his head out, and she's like, man, guys. Just like,
and it never references it all in the episode. They never say anything about it, and then later on you see him back in the stocks. He just hangs out.
Yeah. It's just funny. He can get out, but he chooses to stay because he's just so honorable.
It's almost like those like pranks where someone like puts a nail through their hand or something. Like, oh, dude, there's a nail in my hand. Oh no, it's right there, and they take their hand out of it. Yeah. So now we get our first look, our first official look. I mean, we've been theorizing about it for a long time, but we get our first official look at Detective Sokka on the case. Even though Katara solves it a lot quicker than he does most of the time.
So Detective Katara.
Yes. I don't know. I think Sokka solved it. He just likes to hear himself talk.
I think Katara solved it, and Sokka just reworded it. Katara is like, where's Detective Sokka? Back home we were famous for finding the missing seal jerky. And I forget what he said about that case, but he was like,
everybody thought it was the tiger leopard, but it was just old man Jarko or whatever, like wearing tiger leopard boots.
After that, it cuts to an old man in a carriage, and he's like counting his gold, and then all of a sudden, Blue Spirit comes from the top and steals the dude's money and just leaves. Bad, Zuko. Bad. So Sokka figures out the statue in the foundation.
I was thinking it's so crazy how he's like wielding swords the whole time, but he never cuts anything. I remember Dad kind of
the top of the.
Yeah, but he never cuts it, like hurts anybody with them. You know what I mean? I remember one of the first movies that I bought myself was X-Men, the original, the older like 1990s X-Men, and I was with Dad at the time, and he was like, "Oh no, you shouldn't be buying that because there's a guy with knives in his hands," and he, in his mind, he's thinking like Freddy Krueger or something like that, like horrible movie, but it's like a dude with knives on his hands. I'm like, no, he's just a superhero. He just has knives in his hands. And I remember being a kid thinking like, oh yeah, what does he do with the knives in his hands? It never shows him like, I mean, it does in that movie a little bit, but not like gory. But in
hold on, is this the original like Hugh Jackman one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because like he did. Oh yeah, he totally stabs people.
He does. He does, but it's like not like. It's not like gory in any way. But like this, in kid shows, they always have swords. You know, like I just watched Batman versus the Ninja Turtles the other day. Yes, I'm a grown man.
I love it.
And Leonardo has his two swords. It's just weird having two swords and never stabbing anything. I don't know. Anyways.
Do you want the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to start killing people?
No.
If you like hormone like raged mutant turtles,
right,
would stab people.
Yeah. But I just noticed the people when Zuko cut that top open, and he stole the gold. Then it pans up, and there's those two guys like laying on the ground, like they're just knocked out. Like you can tell they're still moving and stuff. It's like in real life they would have been stabbed and killed, or did he kill them? I don't know.
Well, I'm actually trying to think through. Is there ever a point in the show where you actually see somebody like bleeding?
In this show?
Yeah.
I can't think of any. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. I don't know.
Yes.
Yes?
Remember when? Well, I don't know if there's blood dripping. I guess technically, but you do see open wounds / blood. So, Aang, when Azula lightnings his back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There's an open wound there.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you never see somebody like in any fight. You never see somebody like wiping blood off like their face or like.
I mean, obviously it's a kid show, so
yeah, but that's what I'm. Well, yeah.
But yeah,
I don't think so.
it's kind of like in Star Wars, like they don't bleed in that either until the Force Awakens, and you're like, whoa, there's blood in Star Wars all of a sudden. Okay, never thought about that either. No, they don't bleed.
I know that was the first blood in Star Wars, but
anyways,
didn't like hit me or nothing.
it hit me. I'm like, whoa, this is a grittier Star Wars a little bit.
Setting the tone.
Yeah, setting the tone.
Okay, so Detective Sokka, excuse me.
Back to Detective Sokka.
Right. He figures that the statue and that the foundation of that little hut or whatever are built.
Pagoda.
Yeah, are built from the same stone. And so Sokka figures Kyoshi never even stepped foot here. Mm-hmm. And then Aang, it cuts back to Aang, he's all locked up, and he gets confronted by that other bald man saying, he'll fit in nice here. Yeah. And then it cuts
covered in tattoos, bald, you'll fit in nicely here. Yeah. I think it's going to be some intimidating thing, and it's like, oh, he actually likes that I'm bald and covered in tattoos.
Right. They cuts to Katara and Sokka, and they're back at Kyoshi Island. And some fanboy goes nuts.
Literally foaming at the mouth.
Yeah. Foaming at the mouth like rabies.
Yeah.
I love that he stands up and realizes that he's just been... Alright, well...
Oh, no one else is doing this? Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. The reason I'm falling for a kid is the kid's not here, though.
Oh, yeah, the Avatar's not here.
Darn. So... Sokka asks if Suki is still here, and I forget who that guy is, but
yeah, I don't remember either.
But anyways, he said that Suki went off to go help fight in the war.
He's the mayor of Kyoshi Island.
Yeah, I don't know his name though.
Oh,
mm-hmm. Detective Sherman. We have many detectives here at Fandom Nights.
Yeah.
So Katara figures that the small footprint can't match Kyoshi's boot print because Kyoshi had some of the biggest feet of all the avatars, or look like of all humans. It was like a Sasquatch foot.
Those are big boots.
Those are big boots. And so she was like, small footprint, big boot, that can't be right. And what'd you find, Sherman?
His name's Oyaji.
Oyaji!
Which is an informal Japanese word meaning old man.
Funny.
Used to affectionately refer to a father, longtime boss, or older relative.
So then we cut back to the scene with Aang and the tattoo man, and they're all just sitting there sharing their feelings. You'll get him, man. You'll get her.
And Aang pops his head out, and
he just pops his head out, just like, you really think so, guys? Like, that means a lot, man. I appreciate it.
They're just the most supportive prisoners ever.
Yeah. I just love how he just gets unwound from that. It's just so funny. So then Aang, they call up Aang, and Aang goes to plead his case, and he freezes up, and he doesn't put the evidence clearly. And it sounds kind of moronic. Remember the evidence from like the painting and all that stuff? We just watched that scene. But basically, of all the evidence, he basically just had one little piece of each, and it sounded like gibberish. And so the man was like, I find you guilty. And then, wasn't there something? I think there was something I missed here. Do you have any notes?
Which part?
Oh, he says, I find you guilty. And he's like, that's not fair. Or no, maybe this was earlier, but he's like, that's why we call it justice. Because it's just us.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So then after that it cuts to Iroh, and he's telling Zuko that he knows that they have struggled, but they must not lose hope and never give in to despair. And Zuko, bold-headed as usual, ignores his advice. And then it cuts back to the trial. Mm-hmm. And the mayor of Chin... What is it called? Chin... What's the name of that town?
The town of Chin.
The town of Chin, thank you.
Oh, okay.
So the mayor of the town of Chin said, this is a mockery of Chin law. And then Aang pretends to be Kyoshi, all dressed up in makeup and Avatar Kyoshi's like actual stuff.
I think Katara is like, oh, I dressed him up in this stuff because maybe it'll trigger something. And Sokka's like, I do believe in the power of stuff, as he adjusts his little magnifying glass.
Which is kind of like a callback to the beginning of the episode when he literally believes that like his identity is lost because of his boomerang.
Right. Yeah.
So like, materialistic wealth does not bring your like power, I guess.
Yeah. Except for Anyways.
Yeah, except for what?
Except for he gets it back. So. Okay. So then he transforms.
So then Aang is transforming into Kyoshi, and Kyoshi, first words, I killed Jin. Just straight.
I murdered him.
I murdered him.
I'm innocent. Actually, I killed him.
I killed him long ago. And basically tells him that Chin the Conqueror was trying to take over the entire Earth Nation, and when he came to...
Which was great, because the way she says it at the beginning, first time he's labeled as a conqueror, not like the great.
Yeah.
It was just like...
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody just thinks he's this amazing guy, and she's like, nope, I killed him.
I did kill Chin the Conqueror. You're like, wait a minute. Conqueror?
Repeat that one more time?
And like I said, I like how when it shows the little montage of all the stuff he did, it shows him conquering the entire Earth except for Ba Sing Se. Like, that stays tan instead of green. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Nothing can enter Ba Sing Se.
Right? Nothing. Not even the Dragon of the West. So, basically it shows that Kyoshi, in her powerful bending, in that little background of her, literally, in my theory, is like ripping the tectonic plates of the world apart.
Right. Well, it's kind of that, but I like how at first she like flashes the Avatar state, like, no, I can't handle this on my own almost. And then she just does it.
I think the flashing of the Avatar state is her going into the Avatar state.
But
we don't really see her eyes the whole rest of the time, though.
So
we don't get a good glimpse of her eyes.
Because, like, well, this comes back to like the discussion you and I had during Ray's birthday party of like, there's multiple uses for the Avatar state. Mm-hmm. So like, you can literally do that and just like obtain the knowledge you need for that one instance. But like, you don't.
She just went into it quick, and then she's like, oh, now I know how to do this. Yeah. Or she like went back and like, oh, who are some great Earthbenders or Airbenders or whatever?
Because like,
figure out the technique to split this continent.
Because like Korra does it in at the end of season 1.
Yeah, there's a lot of instances I feel like when she just flashes into the Avatar.
Well, because like she flashes, learns airbending out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then like you just see her like.
Yeah. And then she's just great at it. Yeah.
Well, she's been training with like the techniques without being able to like do it.
I don't think it's her Kyoshi splitting the tectonic plates, because it shows her cutting the peninsula off, but then it shows like her turning on, like bringing up lava. So I feel like it's almost her like liquefying the rock underneath her to like.
Because then like when she moves the fans, it literally just shows like a giant like wave of air pushing the peninsula.
Yeah, and there's like lava all around the peninsula, so it's like floating on like a cushion of molten rock.
Which I knew this was going to happen in this episode, and I was thinking about that before we started watching it. On like, how far away is Kyoshi Island?
Yeah, it must be relatively close. That's why
I mean they flew with it, but like,
yeah.
Still pushing. I tried looking at a map of it.
Oh.
Don't worry, I got you covered there. I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find Kyoshi
There's
Island?
no like. I mean, unless your map that you own, Dustin, has like locations pointed out.
I think it does.
Keep going. I'll look.
Yeah, so after that, they find Aang guilty after admitting to killing him.
I love that. What did it?
You guilty.
Oh, right there.
What happened?
Kyoshi Island in the peninsula. It's pretty close. It's just north east of the Southern Air Temple lands. So there's Kyoshi Island and there's Chin. And Foggy Swamp right there. Doot, doot, doot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why is that backwards?
What?
Because so what bugs me.
Go from Omashu to the Foggy Swamp to Chin to Kyoshi, back up to Chin, and then over there.
No, I know, but so what bugs me about it is like if they go for like, why do they go from the Northern Water Temple or Northern Water Tribe all the way down to the bottom of the Earth Kingdom if they're looking for an Earthbending master?
I don't know. Well, they're just going through the Earth Kingdom looking for an Earthbending master. They don't really have they're flying all over the place.
Sure, they don't really
They're just going from town
I
to
get
town
it.
just trying to find Earth.
Still, but
So they literally cover all of the Earth Kingdom, and they get all the way down to the bottom, and then they find, the Blind Bandit eventually. And,
yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Spoilers, jeez.
Come on, man. So then it cuts to Zuko, and he tells Iroh that they have nothing to gain by traveling together further, which broke my heart.
Yeah, right.
It broke my heart more that Iroh didn't even say anything. Zuko just says that, and Iroh just kind of turns and like no emotion on his face. It's like,
well, he knows that he needs to do this.
Yeah,
because isn't this the part where like he gives him the golden kettle?
Yeah,
teapot.
Right, and this is where he's like, tea doesn't matter.
The best tea tastes great whether it comes from a gold teapot or a tin cup.
Yeah.
Which totally gave me Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade vibes when like Indy's like grabbing the freaking like crappy cup in the bag.
This is the cup of a carpenter.
Which Harrison Ford also was before he started Han Solo in Star Wars.
Was he a carpenter?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Never linked that line.
Is Harrison Ford Jesus? I'm joking.
Jeez.
That's Obi-Wan. So Iroh gives him the ostrich horse, and then Zuko leaves. And then it cuts back to Aang, and he is deciding his punishment with the wheel of punishment. And so he spins the wheel, and it lands on getting boiled in oil, which sounds amazing to go through. Right, guys?
Because who doesn't want to be
boiled in oil?
Who doesn't want to
oil
be?
Sounds soothing, I guess, but
no,
not
boiling.
Boiling. No.
Okay. Are you
Not at
sure?
all. Nope.
You don't want your skin?
Nope. That's
you
what
want your skin? Okay.
John, the disciple, had to go through.
Terrible.
You don't want to be part of a 12-piece KFC bucket?
No. Speaking of boiling oil, have you seen that or that video online of the dude? He's like deep frying chicken, and he like grabs it with his hand and like wrings it out, and then like he's like in India or something, and he grabs the boiling chicken out of oil with his hand, and then puts it in a bag, wrapped it up. He's like a street vendor. Like, what the heck? He's just the most calloused hand in the world. I don't know.
I literally want to know how he got to that point, though.
know.
Like, what burned his hand to where he's just like, oh, yeah, I can't do it.
No feeling. Yeah.
Grandma does that to somebody.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So then these Fire Nation, I don't think they were like soldiers. They're like Fire Nation pirates almost.
So, because you don't find out until,
mercenaries.
I think, later on in the series that these guys are the Rough Riders.
Oh, okay.
They say Rough Riders or something a couple times in this episode.
Oh, yeah, okay, because...
but what are they? You find out later, like, they're like a thing?
They're
essentially
like a mercenary group.
Okay.
They're a mercenary... They're old... ex-soldiers turned mercenaries.
Okay.
Because Iroh knows them personally.
Mm-hmm.
Which you find out later.
Sorry.
So, Sokka gets back his boomerang, which was awesome.
Yeah, my boomerang, you came back!
You always come back!
You always come back! I love it.
And then Aang, he does this air kick through the dude's airbending, or through the dude's firebending, which I thought was just cool. I don't know. Aang does just some really cool moves, man.
I just love when he's just mastering airbending and just.
That's why he's got the tattoo.
Taking names, yeah.
Oh, because this is the part where like the mayor's like, protect us.
Oh yeah, because of Boiled in Oil, he's like, community service, serve our community and protect us.
Yeah. which is another which is a continuity error in this episode.
Yeah, I saw that. The
so on the wheel of punishment next to the boiling oil, when it first gets brought out, the next one next to it is the pit of razors.
Yeah, so it's boiling oil, then pit of razors, and then when it cuts to him moving the wheel, it goes boiling oil to community service. So like the thing switched on.
He literally just moves it one, and I'm like, well, I was wrong.
So then, after Aang gets and the group get rid of all the Rough Riders, they celebrate at night a new Avatar Day, and there's fireworks, and everyone's having a good time. What?
I just hated the dough, like the non-fried dough. I'm like,
yeah.
Who doesn't love raw?
So
mochi.
That was funny. And then
that was gross.
Sokka's like, I hate this town or something like that at the end.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Sokka's like, this is the worst town we've been to.
This is the worst town they've been to. Not all the other horrible places.
Nope.
This is the worst one. So I saw online that they're gonna be releasing a canon Avatar: The Last Airbender cookbook. I just saw it on Reddit or whatever, and I don't know if it's because I looked up the Star Wars cookbook, but there's a Avatar: The Last Airbender cookbook, and one of the things in the cookbook is the unfried dough recipe, and it's what was it?
Gross.
It's not just unfried dough. It's one of those those cookies that you don't have to bake, the bakeless cookies that you just, it's like sugar cookies, but you just put them in your fridge. It's that. That's what the recipe is.
But like how?
Oh, it doesn't come out until August this year.
But you wouldn't have that like weird. Like texture.
Yeah, it wouldn't be all like
droopy like it is in the show.
But it would be unbaked, and I mean it would be droopy, just not as cartoony.
Do you know how many like cookbooks there are for like pop culture stuff?
Is there a lot,
dude? So this no seriously, dude. So a few years ago, I actually got Pete the unofficial Game of Thrones cookbook, where in the back it actually had like beer recipes for like making stuff like everything from the show. They just released a Dungeons and Dragons cookbook.
Really?
So like you get like racial food. So like, all right, this is stuff that like dwarven miners would make. Yeah. So here you go. We should do that.
Just try some stuff. Yeah. Did I tell you when we went over for Christmas we made root leaf stew for Christmas? Rosie made root leaf stew. It was the stew.
Oh, I was like, you went like this, and I was like, you and Dustin?
No, me and Rosie did. We brought it over for Christmas. And it's the stew that Yoda made in his hut in Empire Strikes Back. From the.
Was it good?
From the.
Okay.
I was gonna say Canto Bite from the whatever cookbook, the park, the Disney park.
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge cookbook. Gosh, Canto Bite. Good lord, I'm sorry.
That's why I'm the Star Wars guy.
That's why I'm the Star Wars guy.
Side note, and I kind of want to do this on screen here. I feel like we should all have like a nerd card behind us and be like, all right, if you mess something up like that, we're just gonna like revoke it until the end of the episode. It's like, you're done. You're done.
That's a good idea. We have like a scoreboard to see who like demerits or whatever, and the one who loses does. I don't know what they would get or do, but
every time you mess up, it's like a swear jar. You have to put $1 every time you mess up, and then we'll determine who gets it once it's filled somehow.
Yeah,
it's an idea.
Yeah,
but that's all we got for this episode of Avatar.
We got one.
We got bending numbers. That was it for the story.
Yeah. So, two questions about the bending in this episode. One, the lava. When Kyoshi makes the lava to
earthbending.
Earthbending, not firebending.
Earthbending.
Okay, yep, I counted it as earthbending. Just wanted to make sure, clarify. So all lava bending is earthbending.
Correct.
Not firebending at all.
Correct.
Oh, really? Okay. I wasn't
sure.
As I know we've talked about it, like we've kicked this dead horse a ton, but
far as we know, it is earthbending.
Except for the flashback where the one dude...
Except for, that...
People have explaining to do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then the second one, when Chin dies, she separates the two islands, and Chin, who's a great earthbender, for some reason falls off a cliff. I swear... My theory is that he committed suicide. He just was just done. He's like...
His honor was taken.
Yeah, like the only thing that might... So
he was butt naked.
I know, but when he died, he's out on this little ledge, and then the ledge crumbled. Was that just physics crumbling it? Did Kiyoshi crumble it? Did he do it on his own? Like, was that earthbending?
It was physics.
You think that's physics, not earthbending? Okay, so you don't think...
I think it was too much weight on this side of the weak
no,
support.
I'm just saying, but like in canon, like in the Kiyoshi novel, like they shoot up these long stalks of sand so they can like run in the air. You know, earthbenders do. So he could have easily, because he's a earthbending conqueror, he could have easily kept that intact. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there's so many things he could have done. I think he purposely killed himself in that situation. That's a little bit of a tangent, but so are we counting that as earthbending or not?
I would say no.
I did once, but you'd say no?
For him dying?
Yeah,
no.
for the little plateau thing crumbling.
No.
You'd say that's not earthbending?
No. Okay. Physics.
Okay.
Also, okay. I once again, like the last episode, I think it's going for intent. Like, they're trying to, as animators, I think they were trying to probably put it like a small, like, comic spin to it.
No, yeah.
To lighten the situation.
Yeah.
Showing death on...
Lightening it.
Well, it's a kid's show.
Showing
like,
a guy... Like,
it's
when
a kid's show.
The intent behind it, he committed suicide. There's no way he could have not survived that.
But I'm saying, like as an... For someone, like, making a kid's show, I wouldn't put Kiyoshi going, like, alright, you're gone.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I suppose. They wouldn't show someone intentionally crumbling that and killing somebody.
Which is weird, considering she does say, I murdered in the Conqueror.
That's why I thought it was earthbending. Because it's her saying, I did kill him. She didn't kill him. She moved the island away, and there was a little ledge there. And then it just crumbled. So he killed on accident is what she should have said. I know I didn't kill him. He died in the midst of an accident. She said, I killed him. So that's why I say that's earthbending. Anyways.
Okay, cool.
Thoughts? Is it earthbending or no?
No.
No? Still? I feel like you're...
I'm super undecided right now. I would say we'll put an asterisk next to it.
Oh no. It's the one... That's the confusing one. Out of all the other ones, that's the confusing one. We've done so many other bending things where we're like, nope, yep, we make definitive decisions, but this is the confusing one. Okay.
Well, because, like, I mean, there's... Yeah, I don't know.
She says, I killed him. You just...
Yeah,
okay. It's not that big.
Did you notice how fast the rocks fell? It was at a steady pace, as if they were broken down by weight.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're bending.
Okay.
You usually tell when they're bending.
All right. So that being the case, if that's not counting, we'll do 7 instances of water bending, 5 instances of earth bending, which is not that much, but there's not a lot of bending in this episode, anyways. 7 of fire bending and 13 of air. So it's mostly just Aang jumping around and little Aang things. Which, speaking of counting bending, I saw a Reddit post where someone counted the amount of times that the different avatars bended things. Just the avatars, not throughout the whole, not everyone. And I was like, oh no, someone did exactly what I'm doing. But no, they just did just the avatars.
Someone's did what you've done.
Have they?
Yeah.
What?
I imagine so.
I don't know. I haven't seen it anywhere, but we'll see. I'm the first.
You're not, but
Chris, you're the guy. Okay. You're the guy who comments on videos that just says first.
First. All right, so that's the bending numbers for this episode.
All right,
Sherman, you got?
So the mayor of the town of Chin.
Okay.
Is also.
Dude, he's done so many things.
Well, what he's also famous for in this show is...
In this show? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Cabbage Man.
Oh, really?
He's not Cabbage Man.
Okay.
James Hong?
It sounded just... I mean, I'm probably mistaken, but it sounded just like him. I swear.
Well, because you have James C. this guy, who's probably done Cabbage Man, but James Hong is from a number of different things. A lot of his voice acting, but he did you ever see Big Trouble in Little China?
Yes.
He's the bad guy.
Okay.
He also does the voice of like Poe's duck father in Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. I can see that.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same. It's not the same guy. Say, I can picture that guy.
Oyaji? What's Oyaji?
Yeah, see, Cabbage Man
Yeah.
is the younger guy.
Yep.
Different guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds similar though.
No, James Hong has been around for
that's what he reminded me of the whole time when he was when he was talking in this episode. It was the father from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh,
it's the exact same voice. I mean, yeah. I mean, duh. But
yeah,
cool.
He's been in a bunch of stuff.
There wasn't
440 actor.
Holy. There wasn't any real creatures in this episode at all. Okay. Well, I think that's all we got then. Want to rate the episode, Dustin?
I'm still thinking. Come back to me.
Come back to you, Sherman.
Yeah, this is a tough one because, like, I mean, once again, not a lot happens, and they're kind of just. This was a legit filler episode.
This was a legit filler episode. The only thing it gave us was
backstory on Kyoshi.
Yeah,
which
was good.
Really cool, actually.
That was good.
seeing her like take over Aang's body and then like blow an entire island away. Yeah. I was like,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah,
definitely raised the scale for me.
But story wise, for the. I don't know. Even
are we basing it off story-wise, or basing it off likes?
Even in the episode, the arcs of the characters in the episode, nothing really happens either. Sokka almost had an arc, learning that he didn't have to trust stuff, but then he got his boomerang back. So
I think he was just about ready to adjust to life without a boomerang, and then he got boomerang back.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, all right.
It feels
I'm
like
not boomerang man. I'm
he's
Detective
like an addict.
Sokka.
He's like an addict who got rid of his
heroin.
His heroin, and then he finally gets it back, and
yes,
episode's over. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as a filler episode with some pretty decent background, and like, I guess Aang more realizing like his past selves, like he has to deal with like what other versions of himself have done in the past. I'd give it like a 7.1.
Whoa.
I mean, it was really good, but like it wasn't wasn't great or anything.
This was better than the last one, or this was worse than
the last one?
Oh, I suppose.
That was shock.
Yeah, you said 7.2 in the last one.
Right.
Oh God,
that's where I'm shocked because this was a little better than the last one.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
I think this is a little worse than the last one. Well, not even a little. I think this was just worse than the last one. So I would say 6.8 was what I was going to give it.
I'll keep the 7.1, because like everybody kind of got something out of the last one.
Yeah.
Like everybody learned a bit, and this one was more just like
and faced some of their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't as.
It was a filler episode for sure.
But
this one is just.
But they added that hook in the last episode.
Yeah.
With like Aang knows like this is what I have to look out for.
Right.
In the like, I know I'm gonna meet somebody like this, and what does it mean? Versus this one, which is like, all right, well, this is the stuff that's happened in the past.
Yeah, and then
we survived.
Zuko leaves Iroh, and
it was really cool for bending and like for dealing with the Avatar, but
there wasn't even a lot of bending in this episode either. So it's just
no, I'm saying like seeing Kyoshi.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Dustin, you gonna bring the average up?
So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. You guys are both making so many compelling.
Right? It
was a good episode. There's not really any real bad episodes of this series, but this one was.
The only thing I'm trying to decide is this is worse than the last one. That's the only thing I'm trying to decide right now.
Yeah.
Because my rating for the last one, I think it was like a 7-8.
Yeah, it was.
So.
Is this one better or worse than the last one?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to decide. Just give me like 5 seconds. And 77.
7.7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just ease my mind.
See, that I was kind of like along the same line where it's like, it wasn't... It's slight, like, there was a little bit more to the last episode.
Yeah.
But, like, this was still a really good...
Entertainment-wise, this episode was better. Storyline-wise, the last episode is better.
Right, there's so many factors to, like, rating something where it's just like...
Right. Yeah.
Again, we don't have a clear rating system.
Right,
So
yeah.
everything's just so...
And it's just a formality, really. We're
Oh,
not
yeah.
even really keeping track of it. It's just kind of
Well,
interesting.
our rating is not like some formal rating that everyone should go by.
Yeah.
So, I feel like... So, we have, like, what, 2 weeks till WandaVision comes out?
Yeah.
We should come up with, like, a formal rating system.
We should.
For us,
Called the PK system.
Yeah.
Fandom Night
That's
system.
a good idea. We'll talk about that afterwards.
Right.
Thank you guys. Oh, wait, Dustin, you take us out.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Alright.
Thanks, guys, for watching this Chepisode of our walkthrough of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Season 2, Chepisode 5. Thank you, guys. So, please subscribe to us on YouTube, as well as our newly added iTunes and Spotify podcasts. And there's like 4 other ones.
Pocket Cast?
Pocket Cast. There's like some battle something or other. No, that's wrong.
BattleBot cast.
Dude,
Something like that.
BattleNet.
Gear something
Skynet.
or other. I don't know. Sky. Yeah, that sounds
Sounds right.
Sounds right.
Subscribe to us on Skynet.
Yeah. I'll be back. So, other than that, hit us up on our social medias on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and as always, TikTok, and
Coming soon.
coming soon, maybe even Tinder.
Good lord.
I don't know why, but should we, like, are we just gonna make podcasts for just robots? Is that why we're on Skynet?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of beeps.
Anyways, as always, thank you guys for watching or listening, wherever you guys are, and Appa. Yip,
Yep,
yip.
yep.